Good morning, everyone. Currently on course is Grant Cook with Gilbert. We've had a fair bit of rain overnight in Geelong, which are going to make the sheep a bit interesting, a bit different. And Grant's our first person out on course for the top 20. all week the sheep have been hard to get in the pen. They've had a tendency to slip between where Grant's standing and the post, and Grant's just run out of time, so wasn't able to pen. On course next is Bailey Knight. Bailey is one of the Queensland representatives who's here for the Australian. As you can see behind Bailey, there's some rain happening in the area. The rainbow's standing out behind him, so it's going to be a bit of a mixed bag of conditions this morning. You may have watched our live stream from yesterday, which was the Wellego Cup. With the Wellego Cup, this section's actually got a 15-metre working area, whereas the Supreme only has a 9-metre wide working area. Also, the Wellego Cup, they would be going towards a Maltese cross, whereas the Supreme, they're going towards a race. So Bailey's still got plenty of time to get around this course, as you can see by the clock we've added. Just has to get that last sheep to come out of the race before he can go into the start, just going into the next obstacle.
Good morning, everyone. Jim here. Bailey's going along nicely. He's just negotiated the race and he's off to the bridge. And he's still got plenty of time. I only just got back here, so I'm not sure how the sheep have been running, but these sheep are nice and settled now. Bit of rain on them probably slowed them up a bit. Shower overnight, not too sure how much. Full rainbow out here at the moment. Just a few spots in the air. Bailey's approaching the ring set at the bridge. Champ's one of his younger dogs. Champ's by Melnunny Duncan, who he represented Queensland with last year. Straight up and over, no trouble at all. Bailey will probably try and bring him back on course before he moves, because that's probably save a point for him. Just getting Champ to bring him back on course before he moves off. He's still got plenty of time. Got 5 minutes. It's a mile of time when you got him going like this. Bailey steps out of the ring now and he's off to the set at the pen, the ring at the pen. For anyone that doesn't know a lot about trialling, he's got to go at the same speed between the two obstacles, or else the judges will take an interest in deducting points. According to my weather map, we had about 2.2 mils at the Geelong racecourse, which is just over the road there. And it's 9.2 and feels like 5.5, and I'd agree with that. Champs bring these sheep along nicely. That's Weather Zone's take on the weather. They're on course. They're within the 9 metre distance from Bailey, front or back. He's put Champ out to block that hole there between the end of the gate and the handler, which they have taken very quickly all week. Oh, bad luck, they've taken it again. I spoke too early. And they've just freed up a little bit and headed towards the fence, but Champ's there to block them. Good work. I'm pretty sure Champ's out of Fiesta Jane. He's about 3.5, 4-year-old dog. Fiesta Jane was a very successful Fiesta bitch worked by Bailey's father, Barry. Champ's been in a lot of finals and he's obviously won his novice to be eligible to go in the improver. And he's the next generation of dogs coming up for Bailey. He's got probably 3 dogs.
Bailey had him in, but that one's popped out, so he'll have to try again. He's still got about a minute left, as you can see, where our clock was at time down. Our countdown time is a little out, but he's still got a minute up his sleeve, and I'm sure he'll have a clock and a timer on him so he can see what's happening. And he's just a bit unlucky there with that sheep that popped out, which took the rest of them out, and so he wasn't able to pen. He's out of time.
Hypro Premium, the best dog food I've come across. You can tell by the gleam in their eyes and the colour of the coat, and especially the stamina they have for work on the farm. And they'll love it.
Hypro, that's the go.
Well, Billy's got a second run, I think. Yeah, I think.
Out at the peg now is Mick Hudson and
Amongst your boys.
Hudson's Molly.
But I mean, as I realise, Leo's not involved, but yes, still.
Nice cast out, right hand side of the ground.
Yes.
Weather's come in a little bit today, a little bit of rain this morning, a little bit colder as well. Last sheep that came off didn't want to leave the ground, but here we are now with Mick's run. Just a little drift up the hill, back down now. Molly's covering, they're just getting away from him a little bit, pulled him up.
You just want to get on the same page. Right up. Okay.
Just a little bit stirry at the moment. He's coming up on the uphill side of Mick. They just need to come down for that delivery in that around Mick's left. Just a little pause there, coming down on the draw. While he's starting to have that little conversation with the sheep. How about you think turning around might be a good idea? They might have other ideas. Just coming in softly. Looks a little bit nicer. Still not quite settled yet. Making their way closer to Mick. Down that side, down Mick's left, around the back. Just to break up the hill. Splitting up a little bit. They just about hit the fence. Mick's going to have to bring them back, get them on course to keep the rest of his points in his pocket. Mick's away, heading up the ground of the gap. Remembering this is the Supreme course we're on now. So we had an exciting day yesterday, finishing off the qualifying rounds for the finals in the Supreme Championship. Then we had a course change and went into the test match, so that was pretty exciting. That was on the Trans-Tasman course. You might have seen that on the live coverage yesterday. But now we're back in the top 20, so this is the run-off to find our finalists for the championship in the open competition. And we've also got our improver final list, which will be run tomorrow morning. Right now, Molly's just dancing here in front of the sheep. They just bumped off course again, just on the inside lane. Mick's coming up to the gap. Just watching the sheep, just bringing them up gently. Just trying to settle them down so you can get around the rest of the course, keeping those points. Just bringing her in. She just needs to come in a little bit, give them a push to get back on Mick's right. Sheep are getting a little bit heavy with this wet weather. Sitting up here in the box, we can hear the rain coming down now. You see Mick's got his big rain jacket on. Sheep are in nice position now. They're having a look at the gap, moving forward. Molly's just covering that same side as Mick. A little bit of weight leaning that way. Just a little pause. Let them have a look. Let them settle a bit. So once they come through that gap, there is a temptation to start to run back to the let out. Like you can see, let out's just, what we call it, 40 metres from the gap or so. Having a little look now, just trot through. It's almost like it's a downhill run for them to pick up a little bit of pace. Molly was there to cover, still on course, they're looking good, pointing down the ground to the race. Quietened down now, they look nice, settled. That's the way you really want them to walk around the course, just quietly. Try not to upset them. Keep that energy a little bit lower. In the background, the train's going to Geelong, Saturday morning shopping. Good luck to everyone in the rain. Our two judges, Ken Robinson from New South Wales and Anthony Ireland from South Australia, have been doing a mighty job here. It's a big job. Takes a lot of mental endurance to judge a trial of this size. So Mick's having a terrific carry down on his way down to the race now. Sheep just having a little look out towards Mick. Head down again. Have a little nibble. Probably slept in. Didn't have time for breakfast, so they're having it on the go. So you can see now, compared to just a couple of seconds ago, the sheep are settled, Molly's settled. And the sheep are moving along just nicely, just quietly and progressing forward well. I've had a look at the race. Mick's not quite in a set. That's okay. The sheep can have a look. Just trying to get Molly in that centre court position just to cover both sides if she needs to from the rear. She's just come out to the left, just took a bit of that weight from the sheep. Just guiding them gently towards the opening of that race. Still got the heads down. One's having a look. Another one's having a look back at his mates that let out. Molly's quick on her feet if she needs to get around there. Just to remind the sheep that she's still there. Just trying to gently nudge them in. Keep that flow moving forward. Often when we're talking about a dog trial and keeping your points, you want to see good flow. You want to see forward flow. If the sheep pauses, that's okay. But if they start moving backwards on your dog or overworked ground, that could cost you some points, but not at the moment. Mick's got the bridge to go. He's positioning himself. Just wants to get those sheep moving so that when he takes off, as he did, they're moving with him. Rain's really starting to come down now. It's heavy enough that we're losing our view of Geelong at the moment. Mick can still see the bridge where he needs to go. Molly's got the sheep in her sights. Just a little trot forward. Almost looks like a bit of a drive at the moment. The sheep in front of Mick. Mick on one side, Molly on the other. That's all right as well. He just needs to keep in contact with that 9 metres to keep his points for a good run. He's coming up to the bridge now, starting to try and set the sheep up. Sheep have just planted themselves again. Molly's going to have to lean on them a bit more just to keep them moving. As we've discussed over the last couple of days as well, this Australian course, the handler must get the dog to do all the work. The handler just needs to control their dog through whistle, voice or hand signals. You see the sheep just ever so slightly on that uphill side of the bridge. Maybe even looking between that gap between Mick and the edge of the bridge, and Molly's there to cover it. She's coming in, trying to just slowly push the sheep back, get them to have a look at the opening of the bridge. And if you saw the little walk around the course we did the other day, you might have noticed how steep that bridge is as well. So it's a bit of a challenge for the dogs to get the sheep up there sometimes if they don't want to move up. Molly's got them there lined up. Kenny Robinson in the middle watching the action. They're still leaning towards that gap they just had a look at before between the handler and the bridge. They're trying it on again. They just beat Molly this time. Around they go. Bringing them back with a little bit more vigour. She's going to have to try and stamp some authority on this little challenge they're giving her now. Just taking the pressure off, keeping Molly off just a little bit more. Let the sheep relax, try and get them to look up the bridge. Just aren't quite settled with the dog. They don't want to take their eyes off her now while she's dancing around in front of them. They're following her. She's following ahead of the sheep. One's turning around, one's up. 2, 3, they're on the ramp. Just a little pause, look back at the dog. It's stopped on the bridge. Molly might have to encourage them off. Up she goes. 3 are off, Molly's away. Just a little trot up the hill a little bit out towards that big gum tree that we're looking at from our angle. Turn them around. You can see Mick just waiting. He just wants to set the sheep up on course and then carry them with him up towards the pen. They're on the move. He'll steer them around with Molly. Brilliant work. Just watching his sheep. Still putting their heads down for a little nibble again, so he's going to have to get Molly back in their picture. While Molly's trying to just get those sheep back on the move, our outside judge Anthony Island's just passing in the golf buggy. Little trot from the sheep, they're just trying to make a break on the inside. Molly's there to cover. They might be just outside that marker. I think they are. You'll see Mick from past them on with his left shoulder, so they've just come inside the course there. So you'll need to drive them back in. Just tuck them in behind there, heading up towards the pen, looking over his right shoulder, checking the sheep, making his assessment. Do I need to bring the dog in, keep it out? Trying to start line them up now. So this looks nice from here. Set up well. Just got Molly out to his left just to cover that inside. They experience getting through the bridge and the edge of the bridge and mixed position, and they could be looking that way now. It's a little bit hard to tell from our angle. As the rain really starts to come down just before Mick's end of his run. We can hear it on the roof here. I'm sure Mick can hear it on his hat and on his jacket. And there is a bit more coming in, it looks like. We'll just have a look on the radar. See, Molly's got a tail up, head in the air. She knows the job's not done. Sheep are in a great position. I'm sure Mick will have a bit of time. This is where the experience of some of the trialers, you can see they're not rushing. That little bit of extra time taken now will save a lot of time later on. And even at this later stage of his run, doesn't want to upset the sheep and start chasing him around the pen. Just moving Molly out to the right. There's a leader moving forward. Got a nose in. Looking pretty good. Just need to lean on them that little bit more. The sheep need to make the pen. They need to be across that line where the gate closes. Just turn around, looking at the dog. Still got a head poking out. Molly's got them covered, but they just don't want to move at the moment. She's going to have to come in and show a bit of courage. Good turned around in the back corner of the pen. Mix away. She's going to grab the gate. Molly's covering that opening. Well done, Mick. Well done, Molly. We'll have a score shortly. So our first competitor, Grant Cook with Gilbert, had a score of 64 and gives him a total of 157. Our next competitor, Bailey Knight with Knight's Champ, finished on a score of 49.5, giving them a total of 141.5 over the 2 rounds. So our next competitor on ground is Will Goggin from Breadbow and his dog Beck. And they're away, time's on. Just apologise for anyone watching if you're having trouble looking. We've got a fair bit of rain falling down at the moment. It's making it difficult through the window. But anyway, we'll call it for you. Here we are. Beck's arrived at Sheep. Just coming in. They've looked. They've moved. Just coming up the hill just a smidge. Beck's there to cover. Just coming down. They're on the trot a little bit at the moment. Beck's a little bit excited too. So Will's going to have to get hold of her just to slow up a little bit. I think that would help. Just ever so slightly come on the uphill drift, and they're just still leaning that way a little bit, just not quite moving in that straight line to Will at the moment. It's got them turned now. Remembering again that first delivery has to be around the left-hand side of the handler. If the sheep go around the right-hand side of the handler and behind them, they need to do what we call unwind and bring the sheep back around so they pass, all three sheep pass the handler on their left shoulder and then around the back. So Will's got them in a nice position now, just in his front left pocket, we'd say, moving around the back. Call that delivered. Don't worry about the camera. I'm having trouble looking out the window too at the moment. Will's on his way. Beck's doing a nice job out the front, just slowing the pace of the sheep. They're trying it on pretty hard at the moment. Looking pretty good moving up the course from what we can see through the window. Having the brightly coloured markers certainly does help. Helps the judges in this type of weather as well. The light mightn't be as good, but they can see the markers clearly, see the carry of the sheep in or out of the course, and at the moment they're on course just to Will's right. Just a little pause now. They turn, they're moving. Will's watching diligently. Will had a great run in the test match yesterday. Congratulations, Will. And Australia were successful to take the lead in that test match in round one. We'll see the second round of the test match this afternoon. We can't wait to see that. It's very exciting stuff. Just leaning on the dog a little bit. Beck was there to answer. Just got the sheep in a nice position. Will's coming up. They're a little bit close to Will. They might bump off him a bit, and they did. Beck's still holding them well. Had a look at the gap. Beck's gone through the gap to show him the way. He's come around and said, now your turn, guys. Just holding there, waiting for Will to get in the set. So you might also remember we've discussed that if the sheep go through this obstacle before you get in the set and complete the obstacle, you have to rework the obstacle. So that might cost you a couple of points having to do that. But Will's experience showed there. Sheep were lined up, but they were going to complete that gap before him, so he got the dog to hold the position. He got in the set, took the dog away, sheep went through. So they're on the carry to the gap now. Just having a bit of a look to try and bust back to their mates. But Beck's still there, got them covered. Good position, well done, Beck. It's a little bump forward. Trying out the other side, just a little step off course there. It won't cost too much. Sometimes you need to pay the piper. Beck's got them moving down. Will's watching closely. Beck is full of energy this morning. Coming up to the gap now. Sheep are positioned very well. Centre course. One's just lagging behind. As Will approaches the set, the sheep are positioned well. They're looking at that gap. Just a little wobble left and right. Still centred quite well. Just looks like one's trying to poke around. It has. His two mates are going to proceed through the obstacle, so hopefully they'll show him the way through for the second attempt at this. All three sheep must pass through the obstacle. So they're just trying it on. Beck's there to steer him back, so have another look. Just try it again this time, guys, but all three of you go through would be preferred. Does look a little bit better from where we're watching. You try and lean on that right hand side. And he's done it again. I'd like to bet you $10 that was the same sheep as well. This time those two have paused in the middle of the obstacle. That's okay, because the points have already gone anyway, so he's got to work that single back, and he might join his mates in the obstacle. Just quietly pushing him back. Push, push. And there we go. Joined his mates. Well done, Beck. Well done, Will. It's not over yet. They're still looking at the dog. The sheep aren't looking in the right direction at the moment. That troublesome one has just told his mates, you know what, we can try and get out this way, but they've turned it around again. Just a little bit upset at the moment. Just testing Beck's resolve. Are you going to be able to move us? One of them's just having a little pick inside the obstacle. Dog's just leaning on the sheep a little bit more. Will might also be managing the dog. Doesn't want anything to blow up inside the obstacle. They just don't want to turn away from Beck at the moment. Did some good work covering the sheep on that first carry up to the gap. Had to show a little bit of strength and cover and hold on them moving into the obstacle, but now that single sheep is still saying, you know what, I really don't want to do what you want, but they are out of the obstacle now, so we'll try and get them turned. Start looking towards the bridge. The obstacle's just in the dog's way at the moment. They're starting to peel off it. Beck's inside the obstacle, just trying to push the sheep off the panel. Will's moving away. He can't stop walking now. Squeezing between the panel and the sheep. Still don't want to move forward with Will. He's walking away from his sheep now, but he can't help it. Rules are, once you start walking, you can't stop till you get to the next obstacle. And that little single, he's still hanging back, just trying to drag his mates back. Beck's there to cover. Bring them up to Will. Good work, Beck. That looks better now. If we can keep that moving. Just moving in front of Will. They look like they're lined up fairly well for the obstacle as Will moves closer to the set. Beck's just around the other side of the bridge just to cover any downhill breaks. Here she is back in picture. It's looking pretty good. They're having a little look. Considering going through. Just a slight pause. Good work. So that time they used at the gap, they've just got it back off the bridge. Looking up towards the pen now. Will would like to just keep that energy just down a little bit. The sheep just trotting up the hill. Beck's a pretty powerful dog. Just as we're wiping the window, we could hear Will calling out Beck just to try and settle her down a little bit. Pen hasn't been a freebie for anyone, so once he gets there, he'd like to just calmly get them in as they did with the bridge. That But we're not there yet. Anything can happen. Still got about 50 metres to go. Sheep are in a good position in regards to Will's position. Beck's just on the rear. Just saying, come on guys, let's march forward. You can understand why the dogs need to be fit. Do a lot more movement around the ground. They need that mental toughness too, and as the dogs gain experience trialling, they learn how to deal with the pressure of the trial ground as well. Will's coming up to the set. Sheep are just a metre or so off the gate. Just that little slip through that competitor and the obstacle gap again, but around the side of the around the pen, just making a little slow break out towards the fence and those caravans with our competitors that are watching over the fence. So that time saved on the bridge, Will's going to be using that now. Still got about 3 minutes to go, smidge over 3 to go. It feels like an eternity sometimes when you're standing there. Things aren't going your way, but they're starting to move back into that position. We want them in front of the pen to line up. Wind's died off a little bit now, the rain's eased up. It's making it a little bit easier for us to see through the windows. It's still pretty cold outside, but lucky for us, the windows are closed. Having a little look, they're looking towards that gap between Will and the gate again. Beck's just steered them in the right direction. They're having a look, they're moving in. Just ease up, Beck. Don't upset them now. Very, very close. Just pushing that lead sheep back. I'm sure Will would like to see them turn around, move towards the corner. He's going for it. It's just a little thing on the ground that holds the gate in place. Just lift it up. And he's got them. Great run, Will. Great run, Beck. We'll have a score for you shortly. So the next competitor coming out will be Bill Davidson and Wachillaba Stormy. Their first round score was 87. You might have recognised Bill's name as well. Bill was judging one of the judges in the Ted Gaby competition and also the novice judge this week. Further to Bill's duties, he's also the judge manager for the test team. Right now, Bill's concentrating on his run in front of him. He's got the rain gear on. Looks like the sun's coming out, but here in Victoria this week, that could change in any second. Stormy's just looking to Bill, saying what? Waiting for her command. The sheep are coming out. Let out crew are just pushing them out the right distance. bell's rung, dog's away. Now she spied the sheep, got their heads down, sent Stormy out to the head, meaning where the sheep are facing. Bill's just giving her a run on command. Lovely cast. Just a little movement from the sheep. I don't think the judges need their pencil yet for that one. And our last competitor, Will Goggin and Vay Murray Beck, had a first round score of 94, and we're just waiting to see the update for their second round score. As Stormy brings the sheep down, they're looking quite nice in the middle of the ground. They've moved towards Bill in almost a perfect straight line. You see Stormy's a little way off the sheep, and that's alright. She's got a lot of energy and movement. She's coming on 9-year-old Stormy, but she's very, very light on her feet. I do enjoy watching her work. I've seen her work a fair bit in New South Wales. And Will Goggin, our previous competitor, his second round score was 82.5, giving him a total of the 2 rounds of 176.5. Well done, Will. Back to Bill, moving down the ground, about halfway down the ground at the moment. Stormy's just gently steering that bubble towards Bill. Just staying on the edge of the hip of the sheep. A couple are having a little pick at the moment. It's a good sign early on. Moving forward. They look like they're in a great position for that first delivery. As we keep reminding you, if you just tuned in, that's even better. For the delivery around Bill's left-hand side. Does look like the weather might be clearing up a little bit. Let's keep our fingers crossed. It'll be nice to have the rain and the wind ease up, but that's out of our control. The view of Geelong from our position has come back, so the rain's eased up for the time being. The flags are having a little bit of a rest as well. It's a well-deserved rest for them. They've been on duty most of the week. As I say that, the breeze picks up again a little bit. Sheep have come around, moved past that balance marker. When Bill wants to, he can step off. You can see that movement of Stormy. She's lovely on her feet. Just getting her out in front. Hold that weight of the sheep. Just get her positioned nicely for that first step when Bill's ready to move. Right, Bill's away. Now, if you haven't seen much of this type of dog trialling before, it's a 15-minute course. So what that means is you've got a 15-minute time limit to complete the course. You don't get any bonus points for finishing any faster. So if you take 14 minutes and 59 seconds to complete the course on a score of 80, or if you do it in 10 minutes and score 80, it's an 80 score. Little break from the sheep. Stormy's coming around. It just bumped off course a smidge now. She's there to cover them. Bill's got her moving around in that clockwise direction. Just holding the sheep there, all three having a feed. Bill's moving past. He'll just get her in a bit, try and pop them in his back pocket and carry them up to that first obstacle, being the gap. So one of the other things, if you haven't seen this sheepdog trialling before, is the scoring system. And the way we score it is every competitor starts with 100 points and then points are deducted for infringements along the way. So our two judges are out on course adjudicating Bill's run as we go through. So on the Supreme course and some other courses as well, we have 2 judges. One walks the inside line and the other takes the outside line. Bill's got the sheep in a pretty good position there for the gap. He's moving up to his set. Stormy comes around and says, let's start moving forward, guys, and just have a look at that obstacle. Just a little break out to good cover from Stormy. They're looking through the gap. And they're through. Just came through gently as well. No little run. As we say that middle sheep's licking its lips, I can see from here. It's just put its head down again. Just a little turn around from the sheep. Nothing to worry about. They're on their way to the race. With Chillabah, Stormy carries Bill's prefix. That means Bill bred this dog a number of years ago now, of course, being almost a 9-year-old dog. She's got a lot of experience, Stormy, as well, which is great for this pointy end of the competition now. Just having a little trot up towards the race. Didn't really lose contact with Bill. Just having a look out the front of Bill. Stormy comes around. Just tuck them in. Starting to line them up for that obstacle. From where we're standing, the ideal thing is just line those sheep up with that dog pro at the end of the race. All that banner mesh kindly supplied by our sponsors, the Hypro group. Managing Director Mr. John Camilleri came down yesterday to meet both the test teams. Unfortunately, he's very busy at the moment, so he couldn't stay. It was great to see John come down. We really appreciate his support. Right now, Bill would like those sheep to turn around. Just have a look at the obstacle. He's made pretty good progress time-wise. There we go, having a look. Just rolling down the hill there. Just took the handbrake off, send Stormy around. Turn them around and face them up towards the bridge now. Just spilled over to the inside line of the course, so Bill will need to tuck them back in as he moves up to the bridge. I don't know if Colin Reed's listening to this broadcast at the moment, but if you are, it looks like the lights might be on your ute, so just go and have a look. Well, you might be sitting in there, I'm not sure, but we'll sort that out in a little while. As the sheep come back on course, they look really good in that centre position on the carry towards the bridge. Stormy's covering the inside line still. They're just looking uphill. Just left them behind a little bit there. They just planted their feet again. Just have to get Stormy to lean on them just that little bit more to move forward. Had a little look up the bridge, but they're just not convinced that's where they want to go at the moment. Still putting a bit of pressure on this uphill side of the bridge carry section. Just that rear sheep at the moment doesn't seem to be convinced that Stormy's one to listen to. As I say, that little challenge happens, break around the outside of the bridge, 2 go up, 1 goes round. That would have given a couple of points to the judges. Little challenges starting to happen between Stormy and this individual sheep. Bill's just trying to bring it around that clockwise way. Those other 2 sheep come off the bridge and meeting back down at the mouth of the obstacle. So Bill and Stormy are going to have to put a bit more pressure on now. They're starting to use up their time. Well done. All three are up. Stormy's just giving a little bit of encouragement off. Off they come. About 5 minutes to go. I'm pretty sure Bill uses a timer like me on his watch. Will make it a little bit harder to access with the raincoat on. Bill's got plenty of experience. He knows what it feels like 15 minutes on the ground. Just popped in on the inside line behind Bill. Stormy's there. Just starting to walk into the sun now. It's nice to see. It makes you feel a little bit warm on the inside when the sun comes out. As we say that, our outside judge Anthony passes our Hypro tent. Don't forget to go and say hello to Alison while you're here. It's coming along. It's just sort of past halfway up on his carry to the bridge. We're in a nice position at the moment. You can still see that little bit of weight as they get a trot on. Does look like they're still leaning on that inside line towards Bill. Oh, just a little dart in front of the sheep and the bridge. Stormy now comes around the outside of it. Just sort of took them away, stopped that momentum getting in. I dare say Bill probably wanted her to go around the outside of the pen, but anyway, it's done now. They're looking at the pen, moving forward with some momentum. They look like they're in a great position now. Just a little turnaround. Stormy's there. Bill's checking his watch. He's still got some time up his sleeve. And good morning to our friends from New Zealand test team. They arrived a few minutes ago. I can see them in the background. Stormy steps in. Sheep's reversing. Coming back out a little bit. There she is, just covering that outside. Brought that sheep back. Now slipped around the inside of Bill and the gate. Just a little gallop away. Got 2 minutes to go. Bill knows that as well. I can hear him starting to whistle a little bit more from our position. Just trying to gently rev Stormy up, just that little bit. It all looks very easy from the outside. Why did this happen? Why did that happen? Bill's decided to retire. Thanks, Bill. Thanks, Stormy. And I think we'll see Bill a little bit later on in this top 20 as well.
See if it can stay dry this time. What's the weather supposed to be? Is the question.
Even coming off the ground, the sheep have just been that just a little bit difficult, but edging towards the gate now. Big thank you to everyone in the let-out yards. It's been a big week. Still got a big day, big 2 days in front of us, and those take-off dogs have done a mighty job for us. So stepping out to the peg now is Martin Waddingham from Tassie with Waterley Ace. Coming in with a first round score of 89.5. So let's see what Martin and his partner can do in this next run. Looks like the judge has got his flag up, asking for some new sheep for the next competitor. Let out crew is set. box is open, and the sheep don't want to come out. Here they are. One's got a little spring in its step. We'll see what the Tasmanian team can do. Time on and they're away. Sent the dog out to the right. He's coming into the shadows of the trees to come and meet the sheep at the end of the ground. I can hear Martin using a whistle at the moment. Great cast. He's a lump of a dog too. See what that physical presence, how that plays out throughout their run. It's looking nice at the moment. Just a little gentle trot up. Now they turn around and have a good look at the dog. I hope for everyone outside there enjoying the sun at the moment. It's beautiful in this commentary box. Got the sun on my back and a great dog trial in front of me. Ace has got the sheep covered. The slightest drift downhill. If you didn't see the Interstate Challenge earlier in the week, Martin was also one of the Tasmanian representatives with his dog Digger. But at the moment it's all about Martin and Ace. Just having a little bit of a challenge starting to happen in the middle of the ground. The sheep are just taking Ace up the hill a bit. No, turn around. Might try the other way. No, let's go back uphill again, Ace. See what you got. Just starting to split. They're just getting upset a little bit. Martin's going to have to get on top of this soon, or he's going to have a challenge on his hands for the next 15 minutes. They're still having a little bit of a battle, just leaning on the dog coming uphill towards the pen. It's got him stopped. Trying to calm the situation a bit. Sometimes it doesn't work because the sheep have other thoughts and you need to keep moving. It's got them coming down, but they really aren't settled yet. Maybe the slightest overrun. The sheep are turned back, looking good now, just aiming themselves at the Hypro tent. Coming around the back, having a little nibble on their way. I'm sure they're thinking about their next move. Looks like they've been talking about it while they're waiting for their turn. Ace is there to cover. Just next to one of our judges. Got them pointing in the right way now. I think Martin wants to get them a little bit closer before he sets out on course. Just start some of that movement with the sheep. He's away. Join Martin on course proper now. Just holding Ace back. It looks like that might be a good strategy. He's got a good bit of presence, that dog. Really starting to warm up here in the commentary box. Just stripped off the beanie. Little drift inside the course. You can see that taller sheep at the front. He's been continually splitting from his mates as well. He's just leading them away as a single. As we say that, come back on course together. Just a little bit behind where Martin probably want them to be at the moment. I have to get Ace in now. Excuse me. Moving forward, they just come offline again. As I say that, Martin's asking Ace to get out. It's interesting watching dogs. They might see one person run their dog and the dog's very close to the sheep, moving them around, and then the next dog comes out and they need to be much further back from the sheep. Each dog has that sort of individual presence, and Ace has it in bucket loads. Coming around the front of the obstacle, try and tuck the sheep back in and line them up. Just drifting up the hill again. You can see that sheep by itself again. Had a little look down at the let-out yards. The other two, the centre and the right sheep, seem a bit more comfortable. That single sheep on the left there, he goes again, dragging his mates away. No, we'll try it this way. Not making it easy for Martin and Ace today. As we say that, the wind's starting to pick up again. I don't think the wind's the problem with that single sheep. He just does not want to play. Got out of the wrong side of the bed this morning. They're looking at the gap now. In a nice position. Had a second look, but he's also looking on the outside. That looks better. Here comes Ace. There goes that single. Hurdling that marker. Just took his mates off course with him as well. Ace is there to cover that lead outside. Nice little bump back on course. Things are quieting down a little bit now. Martin approaches that sort of halfway point of the carry towards the gap. Beg your pardon, towards the race. Sheep had just paused. That guy's just having a look at that single sheep's just taking the inside line now. This is a much better carry. Ace moving along the outside. Just keeping that movement of the sheep nice and steady. As Kenny Robinson's watching from his position at the top of that carry as Martin goes down to the race. This sort of weather makes it very challenging for the judges as well. You've got cold hands, trying to write things on your judge's card. Pen doesn't work. Really want to be anywhere else but in the freezing cold, but we all love dog trialing and here we are. Martin's in the set. Just trying to push those sheep gently into that obstacle. This is a much kinder approach to the obstacle than the last one, so hopefully it stays that way for the rest of their run. Just having a little spin around, but they are looking down the obstacle. Starting to think about it, moving through. Great work. Just turning them for the next part of the course. First half's done, second half still to go. Sheep are in a fairly nice position there. They're just dancing on that line. It's a bit hard to tell from my position if they're outside or inside. But I'm not judging. I'm just watching. That individual, that single sheep we were talking about before, he's still asking the questions of Ace as they move towards the bridge. Again, this is a better carry. Martin's approaching the set. Just about to put himself in position to work this obstacle. Sheep had a little sneaky look at the bridge, but they don't really like the look of it just yet. You see that wind just pushing the windmill in the background around a little bit. She's not spinning, but she's turning to the wind as the sheep have a look up the bridge. It's a great position. they're still not convinced. You see that presence of Ace is just ever so slightly upsetting them. Thinking about an escape around the side instead of over the top. Having a look at that gap between the handler and the edge of the obstacle. 1, 2, 3, up they go. They're off the bridge. Well done, guys. Not far to go now. Little walk up the hill towards the pen. Martin's on his way, just getting Ace around the back of the sheep just to get them on course and get them moving. I prefer not to walk away from them. Just a little bust out to the right and up the hill, getting back on course. Just try and hold them there now while he catches up. Get Ace to take that weight in the middle of the ground. Well done. Progressing up the hill. Ace is there to hold them up there. They might have taken a little point with them maybe. Good morning to Gene Heidelman, just driving past our Hypro tent. So Martin's done really well to contain Ace's enthusiasm for this. He has had a lot of effect on the sheep, but it's been a pretty good run from the gap. 3 minutes to go as Martin approaches the pen. Sheep just wanted to do a bit of sightseeing on the outside of the pen. Just went around that opposite side to Martin. There's that single, still having a look by himself. He's joined his mates again, but he did look down the ground away from him. He's trying it on again. Ace has got them at the moment, but they're on the wrong side of the pen, unfortunately, so you'll have to drive them back around. Getting closer. Yeah, they're going to try it down the front of the pen instead. You did it once, Ace. Can you do it a second time, they're saying to him. Now 3 minutes has been eaten up. A single around that inside of the obstacle again. That's that sheep that's been testing the dog the whole way around. Ace has got him lined up with his mates again. Having a look, trying a little bust around the outside, and they got it. Ace is there. Just trying gently to roll them around, but they've got that momentum up now. It's a little bit like a pendulum. They got upset and they're starting to swing around left and right. They don't want to look at the pen. They just prefer to try and run away. As we say that single's trying his best as well. Doesn't really care about his two mates. Not really a team player today. Just have to quickly get around to stop that outside break that they've already done again with 1 minute to go. They're looking at the pen. That looks better for Martin and Ace, but a turn around, they're not in yet. He's trying to get outside the gate. That's much better. I think Martin knows his time's running out. He's going for the gate. And the sheep stay still. Looks like they will. Great work, team. Martin and Ace from Tasmania. Out on course is Will Goggin and Vaymarie Trixie. Just saw Will a couple of minutes ago with Beck. He's out here with Trixie now. And if I'm not mistaken, I'll just have a look on the old JVC. This is Will's rep dog as well. So she's had a big program this week. She's doing very, very well. So she's away looking for a sheep. She's eyeballed them. Will's just using the whistle to help her around. These dogs are top athletes. Top athletes need a great diet, and you can go and talk to Alison at the Hypro tent about that with their range of food as the sheep come down centre ground, just coming uphill a little bit. Trixie's there to cover. Just like our last run, there's a single just trying to break away. We'll call him Single Sam. And you see Sam just trying to make a little break himself there. Trixie's got them all three steering back to Will. Around they come, and Trixie as well. Will's just got them set up. Just maybe a slightest little dribble on the inside of the course. Can't be sure from my position. Just kind of in front of Will, so he's just going to get them to move a little bit before he takes off, but they're going to have something else to say about it and take off they will, back towards the back fence, but Will's away. They're just getting a little bit of a roll up. Just Will like to quieten that down just a little bit so that they aren't as anxious while they move around the ground, but they're just proving a little bit difficult at the moment. Back and forth they go. Judges might be also acknowledging that with their pencil. Forward they go, inside they come. Just backing Trixie off now as Will passes the sheep. Single Sam went around the back of Will, joined his mates again. Just been a little bit slippery for Trixie to get hold of at the moment. As Will approaches the gap, the sheep had just come on the inside behind him again. Trixie's there to steer him back in, but just a little push, smidge too far. That Single just lost his mates for a sec, trotted up to join him. I had a little look at the gap then. They're not really settled about it. They just want to get away from Trixie. As Will brings her around. In the set he is. Single Sam went through, but the other two around the outside. Will's going to have to rework this obstacle now. As I say that, in the background behind me, I can see some sheep moving around, getting ready for this afternoon. Even though the sheep need to rework this obstacle, I think this looks good at the moment. Just settling things down a little bit. The sheep are looking at the dog. Trixie's coming in quietly. Some dogs in the background getting a little bit excited too. One of the sheep just gave Trixie a little wave to say, come on, try your best. And she certainly will. So Will's going to let them drift through the gap in reverse. And then he'll bring them through the correct way. And if they don't run, they'll be in a great position. But what he needs to do is make sure the sheep completely clear that obstacle going in reverse, then turn them around for the correct direction of play. A couple of sheep just having a chew. His last one doesn't want to go through. There's some sweet, sweet grass there on the ground. He's not going to let it go. Now he thinks about joining his mates. They've cleared the obstacle. But not quick enough. And they've slipped around between Will and the panel. So he's going to have to get them back on course again as Trixie says, come on guys, hurry up. You're wasting my time. bumps them around the outside of Bill. She's racing around the outside just to try and keep them on there. And she does. They've looked at the gap. Through they go. Now Will can get going on his way to the race. Did waste a bit of time here, so Will will be aware of that. He's very experienced. Pretty sure Will carries a timer as well. As Will's heading down, our outside judge, Anthony Island's coming around the cart. Will knows all about judging as well. He judged the 2018 Supreme with Andrew Stanczyk in somewhat similar conditions. We had a lot of rain that week. Will won't be thinking about that now. He's just concentrating on the job in front of him, and that's get the sheep up to the race. This is a better carry. It's a bit of a slightly rougher introduction in that first bit, but now the sheep are settled. Trixie's settled. As we say that, they just get a little bit of a jog up. Just a little break on the inside. Come back around the front of the obstacle. Trixie's there to cover. Will's going to step into the set any second. There he goes. Moving Trixie in. Turn around. Just want them gently. They're having a look at the... Ooh. They were having a look at that race. I think Single Sam thought it's a good idea, but his two mates went at the outside, so let's have a go again. Just a little pause. Looks a little bit better. They've just been a little bit difficult today. Single Sam said, guys, it's down this way, and the other two still don't want to go. It just shows you how much you have to concentrate the whole time. It looked like they were going to go, but then this last second, peeled off to their left, and down the side of the obstacle they go. So we'll try again for round 3. Ding, ding, here we go. Looks a little bit better this time, but it's still not safe just yet. Just rolling that smaller sheep around. That looks better, Will. Great work, Will and Trixie. Will's on his way. He knows he's starting to chew up a bit of time. Sheep had a little bump uphill from Will. Here they go back on course. Trixie come around the outside just to steer them along. Walking up to the bridge as we follow that Blue Dog Pro banner mesh up the ground. Trixie's holding the inside of the course while Will walks the line. About halfway to the bridge now. Single Sam and his two mates are thinking, how can we make this difficult, the bridge? While Will and Trixie are thinking, let's just line them up. They're in a pretty good position there, looking at the bridge. Up they go. If Will gets in that set, well done Will, well done Trixie. Got a bit of time back. If those sheep went through that obstacle before Will got to the set, he would have had to rework it, but he doesn't need to, so let's not worry about that. Let's worry about what's going to happen in the next couple of minutes going up to the pen. Will's got to concentrate. So does Trixie. Little hop from the sheep. Still feeling pretty good about themselves. Let's see what we can do. Trixie comes around on that clockwise to try and pull them up for Will. Just a little squeeze. They're back on course. Stop there, Trixie, Will says. The sheep don't want to help though. Inside they come. Just trying to gentle them around back on course. You can see just the way the sheep are moving. They're not quite settled. Just got a little trot up, loping along up the hill a bit. They're still on course though. Trixie's on the outside. Will's just trying to get her to stop. Little break again towards the inside. Here they come towards us. Those sheep are just showing Will where the set is at the moment. Move to the front of the pen. Will's coming up to the set. Getting Trixie around. Nice little roll around. They're still on the gate. Just a little slip through with Single Sam. Back he goes. It looks a little bit better from here. Just keep our fingers crossed for Will and Trixie that they stay there. As I say that, I'm actually crossing my fingers. They look like they're rolling in. Well done. They're just not settled. Tried a little break. Trixie covered well. They're in. Will's away to the gate. Trixie's covering the hole. Well done, Will. Well done, Trixie. It was a tough ride, but they got there. As some of the spectators beat the horn, a lot of people moving their cars to the ring today because of the weather. Can't blame them, but you don't want to miss the action either. So we'll get those sheep out of the pen and let them start drifting back down and let out as our pickup dog enters the ground. Out at the peg now is Mick Hudson again. This time MGH snip. Time on. He's off. Mick is also one of our test team members with his dog Rabbit. We'll see Rabbit a bit later on. We've got Snip out on course now. Just coming around the back of the sheep gently. G'day guys, I'm here. How about we go for a walk? Right, the sheep are alert to the dog now proper. Just turning off Snip. He's a pretty tall dog, Snip. Almost look the sheep in the eye. It's a good start so far. Just a little trot. He's not upsetting them. Just coming in a little bit closer under Mick's guidance. Can hear that wind starting to pick up, blowing over the top of the commentary box. Probably snipping the sheep in a slightly sheltered spot there at the moment. Once they get in the middle of the ground, they'll feel it. As we say that, flags are starting to flutter a bit more, so is Mick's long jacket. This delivery of the sheep so far, it's looking pretty good. Snip hasn't upset them. He's just coming in a little bit closer now just to test the friendship. Little trot, doesn't look like anything to worry about at the moment. Snip's just gently taking the uphill position. This has been a great start for Mick and Snip for their top 20 run. Coming off the first round with a score of 95. Doesn't get much better than that. I've been lucky enough to see Snip run quite a few times up in New South Wales. We're down here in Geelong for the Supreme 2024 Hypro Group Supreme. They're almost at Mick's toes. They've been coming up ground beautifully. Just turning around looking at Snip again. He's there holding his ground. Sheep have got their heads up. Just a little pause in the action. Mick's experience there. He knows he doesn't need to rush. Time taken now might save time later with a nice smooth run. And it's looking pretty smooth at the moment. Just rolling around. You can see those Hypro flags just sort of fluttering in the background. That breeze just hasn't eased up at all. I know if I'd be running a dog now, I'd be rugged up like I was visiting Will down in Breadbow in winter. Sheep coming around the back of Mick. Just taking his time. It's great to watch. Beautiful delivery, Mick's off. You can see his jacket just blowing in the breeze a bit. Sheep are just having a little bit of a camp there. Snip's got them just coming in ever so gently, just asking them politely to come forward, follow Mick along the ground. Here they come. You can see Snip, he's a big dog, but he's light on his feet. He just glides across the ground. Sheep just popping on the inside just to check out that middle spot where they came up. It's not really the ideal position now, but Mick will fix that up, no trouble. Snip around now. You can see how tall he is closer to the sheep. Just getting a little bit of speed up there. Snip's got his eye on the job. Just getting a little bit of momentum now. The energy levels come up a little bit. We're also getting closer to the let out yards now. The sheep might remember their mates are still there. They can probably hear and smell them as Mick approaches the set with the first obstacle. Just having a look at the gap from their angle. In comes Snip. Back goes the sheep. Another look at the gap. Look at the dog. Oh, looking at the dog now. Just rolling around. Here we go. That's a better line. Maybe just the ever slightest overrun, just pausing that momentum in the sheep, but just coming up the top side. Just have a look up there too to see where they really want to go, and through the gap they do. Snips out the front, pull them up, just stop them progressing forward to their mates. Just come off course a bit there. 1, 2, 3, back they go. Snip's just reversing them. He just wants to get him back on course before he starts walking down to his next obstacle. Got them lined up well. That single's just trying to make a break. Snip covered him. Got him back on course. Sheep are just starting to dance on Mick's line, but they're still on course. Mick's aware of that. He's just holding Snip back just a little bit so they don't get pushed off course. They're trying to trot up the ground. Snip's got them covered. You can see Mick's using a working stick that we've talked about the other day as well, as the sheep come inside the line. The sun's just disappeared behind some clouds a few minutes ago. Not quite as warm as it was. Starting to get a little bit of pace up again as they approach the race. Here comes Snip. Just a little bump across the mouth of the obstacle. Turn, they're facing it and trying their best not to go in it. Around the outside they've gone. Just rolling them back gently. They're just testing out the dog. In a better position now to roll around into the race. Snip's just coming in gently. You can see why these dogs need to be as fit as they are. Constantly tested by the sheep. Doing some kilometres on the ground for their run. Now they're in a great position there. The sheep just tucked himself in. Snip's just going to try and push that shoulder of that sheep. Get it facing down the obstacle and then walking forward. They just won't take their eyes off the dog at the moment, so that's turning the sheep around. And he's going to have to back them through, it looks like. One's turned, two have turned, but they're just rolling around at the moment. They're not committing to moving forward. As Kenny Robertson comes down just to watch the play, and we can hear that wind picking up at the moment too. This could be blowing through the sheep's ears as well and just making it just a bit more difficult to guide them through. I hope that awning on my caravan's surviving this wind. As I check, it's still in place, everybody. Thanks for your concern as we get the sheep through this obstacle. Presenting more of a challenge than the first run, I'd say. Snip's got the skill and the courage to do this. Nick's got the experience to help the dog around the course. He's just trying to get them past the obstacle and start setting them up for that next run. And bad luck, cross. Thanks Mick, thanks Snip. Stepping out on the field now is Paul Darmody and Z3 Marlin. Coming off the first round run of 92.5, so it's a pretty tidy run. Other interesting thing to say is all three of our New South Wales reps have made it through to the top 20, so well done, guys. As we say that, the sheep are coming out for Paul's next run with Marlin. Time on. Here he comes. Up the right hand side of the ground. He spied the sheep. It's moving around. One's seen him, two have seen him. Third one's too hungry, doesn't even know what his mates are looking at. Just the tiniest of a bump and they're away. Just a little trot, this first part of play. Up they come towards Paul. Left and right they go. Marlin's following well. If they keep coming up like this in a straight line, that'll just put a bit of time back in Paul's pocket for later on during their run. Just starting to get a little bit of a lope up. Paul's holding Marlin back a bit. As they come around the back of Paul, past the balance point, Paul's following them around. Marlin's there too on the outside, just on that little lip of the ground. Paul will want to just get the sheep up a bit closer before he takes off. There he goes. He slipped in the inside of the track there, just in front of Paul. Marlin's there to steer him back. Just getting a little bit stampy at him, just testing him. Just asking a question, what do you got, Marlin? As they turn. Just as Paul approaches the halfway point, we can see the baked potato purveyor come in. I'll be having a visit to that truck a little bit later on today. I think the weather's calling for a hot potato. Paul would just like these sheep to stay on course, but they've got something else to say about that. Put them in a nice position now as Paul comes up to the gap. So if you've seen the Trans-Tasman course, or you saw some of the test match yesterday, or our interstate challenge at the start of the week, you notice that the gap's facing a different direction. So two different courses. So we're on Supreme course now, so the gap faces from top to bottom on the course. They just slipped around the inside there. Paul's going to have to bring them back. Little challenge with that gap, the way it is. Sheep come through and they go straight through to their mates in the let out. So the handler and the dog have to be paying attention to cover that potential break. We'll see what happens when Paul gets in position. If they're going to do that, or just walk through quietly, but we're not quite there yet, so let's just wait to see what happens. Sheep are just trying to waste a bit of time here, getting a little bit heavy. Paul's just working Marlin just gently. Doesn't want to upset them and cause a break and waste more time trying to bring them back again. Look like they're in a nice little spot there. He's just got to bring them uphill a smidge more. Look like they're lined up well. Marlin needs to cover that inside. He's doing a great job there. Just a little trot as we say that. The rain's starting to fall again. The sheep run around the top side of the obstacle this time. And here Paul asking Marlin to get up. Just trying to hype the dog up just a little bit. This is starting to waste a bit of time now. Sheep still challenge the dog. Paul's going to be aware this time. The sheep know that they can break up around the top side of the obstacle once they get around the front side of it. He's going to be waiting for it. Paul's another very experienced trialer. Got a lot of experience at the top end. Representative honours many times, years gone by. Judge manager for the test team on different occasions. New South Wales rep this year. Sheep are lined up, they found the gap. Well done, Paul. Well done, Marlon. There's that little trot we were talking about. Still on course. There's Stampy Stanley. Just challenging the dog. He just might put a foot outside there. Can't be sure. And you're just getting that little bit of momentum coming back. I just want to try and ease up a bit. Lines out the front. As Paul starts to make his way down to the race. Paul Darmody's from Bungendore in New South Wales. I don't think this cold weather will bother him. Sheep look like they're lined up fairly well, approaching that next obstacle. Hasn't quite got there yet. Paul's making his way down, getting closer now. Sheep just a little bit in front of Paul. That's alright. Look like in a great spot at the moment. Marlon just edges in gently. Sheep have got their heads down, just having a little nibble on the grass. Well done, Marlon. The outside sheep just had a look down the outside of the obstacle. He tucked it in, they're through. Turned onto the section to head along to the bridge now. Paul's away. Sheep are looking good right now. This is a good start to this next carry towards the bridge. Sheep are just settling as I say that. We'll get a little bit of speed up. Marlon's covering the top side. Now he's downhill. Paul's uphill. Paul's got to walk that line. Can't move and help them like on the New Zealand sections. This is all Australian rules today, and we'll change to the New Zealand rule, Trans-Tasman course I should say, this afternoon. But this is our top 20. We're under find our 10 finalists for the Supreme Championship. They're looking at the bridge, are they? Bit hard to tell. Just edging towards that gap between Paul and the outside of the obstacle. And dart downhill. Just facing the dog, roll around. There we go. Just look at that gap. He's a devil. Marlon's got him back. Wish this sun had come back. It's starting to cool down at the commentary box. If any of our fans are out there, cup of soup would be nice. Chicken noodle preferably. Alan's just taking his time with Paul. Just want the sheep to turn around quietly and have a look at that obstacle properly so they can go up there with some confidence. Stamp of the foot. Challenge isn't over yet. One's had a look, but it's just rolled around the outside of its mates. I don't want to take their eye off the dog just yet. Edging around, but still watching Marlon just ever so slightly while they're moving into the obstacle. Now they're having a look. 1, 2 are up, 3 are up. Great bit of patience there from Paul and Marlon to get them to commit to that obstacle, but they just paused on the end of it. And they come off gently, that was great. They didn't get a fright coming off and run. Just taking a couple of steps forward as Paul sends them around on the clockwise just to pick them up. Round he come. Got Marlon on the inside, Paul's heading up towards the pen now. Sheep are just picking up their pace only so slightly. Just heading out to the right. Marlin's there. Just trying to get Marlin just to nudge them back on course, take them to the pen as he approaches that halfway mark. Sheep are just trotting ahead. Marlin's guarding the inside for Paul. Remembering on our Australian courses, we can't help the dog. The dog's got to do all the work. You have to keep walking along on the marked line. As we say that, the sheep just pop inside again. Not making it easy for Marlin. They're going to make him earn all those points and earn his dinner tonight. As Paul gets into the set for the pen, he settles. Just trying to line the sheep up for the pen now. Looking pretty good from here at the moment, but that sheep at the front's got his head up. He had to look towards Paul. Just head down. Just creeping forward towards the pen. That looks in a good position. Just looking at the dog again. Forward they go. Had a look inside. One's in. Turned around. Two are still out. Still in a good position. Backing in. Don't want to take their eyes off the dog. Paul's going for it. Lift the gate. Round he comes. Marlin's helping him. Great work, Paul and Marlin from Bungendore, New South Wales. Coming out next is Grant Cook from Western Australia with his dog Grass Valley Palmer. Grass Valley is Grant's prefix. Grant is also one of the WA reps for the Ted Gaby competition we had last weekend. And Grant was also good enough to get in the test team. He had a run yesterday. Back to our top 20 in Grant and Palmer. Going out to the left. Sheep are seen him. Can hear Grant working his whistle. Sheep had just paused in the middle of the ground there. Palmer's coming in gently, just bumps them along nicely. It's a nice gentle introduction between the dog and the sheep. Just a little hop. Sticking together. Moved uphill but still towards Grant. At the casting peg. Sun comes out on Grant. She's doing a great job there, Palmer. Just keeping the sheep together, keeping them moving, keeping that flow that we've mentioned before. Just have a trot around the back of Grant. Palmer's there. Just picking up the pace just to catch them. There's a little challenge there. There's a break, leaning hard on the dog. That sheep's dragging his mates right up the ground. Grant's walking up to try and catch up with the action. Great work, Palmer. She's got them under control again. It looked a bit hairy for a second. Now Grant's just going to get her to hold the sheep and catch up. So it was a big day yesterday. Qualifying round of the championship finished and we had the test match. Top 20 today. Test match this afternoon. Third round of the test match tomorrow. Improver final. And then the big one. The open final. Find the 2024 Hypro Group Supreme Champion. A little way from that at the moment as the sheep are still leaning on Palmer as Grant's coming up the ground. Grant's using his whistle a fair bit. You know, the poor bugger's got a bit of a croaky throat at the moment too, so he's probably happy using the whistle. Just gently coming past the sheep now, trying not to upset them. Just a little bump off Grant, couldn't be helped. He had to keep walking, but sheep are still on course. Palmer's still there, holding them up. Just a little break down the inside. He's just coming past the sheep now, heading towards the set. Sheep are just having a look at Grant and maybe a little potential escape route past Grant. Palmer pushes him back onto the course proper. They're in front of the gap. Which way is Grant going to send her? Clockwise. Just stop them from trying to break out the top side of the obstacle. One's just having a pick on the line there. Palmer's coming around, turn it around. She's doing a great job. She's light on her feet. Just kind of ignoring the dog a little bit. She's woken them up again. Just rolling them around towards the gap. They've looked at it. That outside sheep just thought it might try and break away towards Grant. 1, 2 are through, 3 they go. Little stumble from that lazy sheep, just tripping over the invisible line there. Palmer's just shaping them up with Grant's help through his whistle commands. They're away to start their journey down to the race. You can see the sheep are just sort of split a little bit. One's feeding and just letting his mates go. The other two are watching the dog. Nothing bad's come of it now, but if they keep doing that, it gets a little bit tense near an obstacle. It could become a bit more of a problem, so Grant's going to have to watch that. You can see again that one feeding, just peeling off from his mates. Grant will be aware of that. He's a very experienced trialer. And he's got a few sheep at home, Grant, as well. Like, he's seen the sheep do all sorts of things, I'm sure. As they come up to the race now, Palmer's coming around the clockwise just to help let them roll forward towards that race. Looking at the race now, in great position. Entering the obstacle. There's still one sheep got its attention on Palmer at the moment. Through they go. Great work. Turning 90 degrees. Heading south to the bridge. Grant's off. Palmer's just done a lap just to get in a great spot to keep the sheep moving forward with Grant. Sheep are positioned well, centre course. Just aimed at Grant a little bit. Got a little bit of pace up. Palmer's coming around, try and keep him tucked in. Just dancing on the line at the moment. Grant has to keep walking. Can't stop. Australian rules. Very good position there. Palmer comes in. Little challenge there. Palmer pops in and says, I think you better keep moving, guys. We haven't finished yet. Coming up to the bridge now. They've had a look. Just a little turnaround. That won't be stripping any points away, I wouldn't think. Just a roll around in front of the bridge there. You can see Palmer's quick movement with her feet. Even though all those little things, sometimes the sheep might just react unfavourably, but they're going okay at the moment. Just checking all their options. Should we go forward? Should we go around? Grant and Palmer know what the answer is. No, just go straight over the bridge, but the sheep are just trying out everything at the moment. Clouds are starting to clear now too. Let's hope it stays that way for the rest of the day. The sheep just started with a little challenge of the bridge. One's come around the outside now. We're going to have to tuck that sheep back around and see what its mates do if they, they've jumped off. So all three need to get put back into the obstacle now. Sometimes those sheep might stay there and help lure their mate in. But anyway, try again. That's Singles trying to take his mates around the inside of the bridge, and he has successfully. He's tucked in on that wing. Comes around again. So come on guys, two of you know how to go over the bridge. Just show your mate. I'll help point you in the right direction. Well, a little challenge there. A little punch on the nose. A little bit too much and we're done. Thanks Grant, thanks Palmer. Out at the peg now is Bill Davidson with Grass Valley Flake. And we just saw Grant with Grass Valley Palmer. Bill got this dog off Grant as a pup. Time's on. Flakes away. Out to the right. Here she comes. Bill just gives her the run on command with the whistle. Sheep are starting their way on course. Getting down towards Bill is the first part, that delivery. Just having a little look at Flake, moving off her now. You can see we even talked about the presence of the dogs earlier. Flake's a fair way off the sheep at the moment, but it's still having an effect. That single at the back of the group's just looking at her, and Flake's moving around to her left. Just trying to steer the sheep on. It's moving that rear sheep, and that's moving his mates. Bill Davidson from Tamworth in New South Wales. He's our test team judge manager this year. Great honour. Bill's also had the privilege on a couple of occasions in the past representing Australia. Had a trip to New Zealand. As I say that, one of our test match competitors from New Zealand, Ben Miller, is riding past on my bike, exercising his dog. Good luck to you, Ben. As Flake comes up the ground, the sheep are getting closer to Bill. It's been a pretty good pickup so far. Let's hope it keeps going for him. I'll just try and stand in this sun a little bit while we're watching Bill's run. Much nicer. Flake coming around to a left, so you can see where the dog is. There's that weight sort of pulling up the hill or pushing up the hill. Flake's got it covered there. Bill's not rushing. He's got plenty of experience, so does Flake. Top 20 2024 Hypro Group Supreme Australian Championships. One more day to go. 2 more rounds of the test match. Doesn't get any better. Flake comes around to her right. Just letting the sheep know she's still there. Bill moves her around, just gently moving the sheep. Someone's walking onto her now. Brings her in. I remember a long time ago, Cole Webster from New South Wales said to me, if the sheep asks a question of your dog has to answer, and she did answer indeed. It's got them moving forward quietly now. That sheep with its head up, that's the one that was looking at her earlier. Still not quite happy with the dog, but he's moving away now where we want him to. Still watching Flake, the other two are still feeding. Will this be a challenge later on in the course? Let's watch. At the moment it seems pretty good, but we don't know. Can't be sure. Bill's feeling the pressure out there. He knows what it's like. Very easy for us to say you should have sent it left or should have sent it right, but Bill can feel the weight of the sheep. He knows where the dog needs to be. He's away. It's a great delivery, hasn't upset them. Still got a fair way to go yet. As we say that, there's a train in the background just tooting his horn saying good luck Bill, good luck Flake. Just small movements around the sheep. Hopefully we'll equal small movements from the sheep as they trot forward. They looked at the line. Flake's there to keep them on course, just in front. Hopefully as Bill approaches they don't bump off him too hard. Grazing sheep's just dropping behind. Finally that sheep that's had its head up all day just had a little nibble. It might be relaxing. Wow. Kenny Robertson's watching from the rear, walking the line as Bill is walking the line. Now Judge Anthony's coming around the golf cart quietly. Always prepared for anything. Bill's got his raincoat. About 10 metres to go and he'll be in the set. Sheep even having a little look at the obstacle. One's gone through the gap. He's making a run for it. 2, 3. On that little small encounter. Sun's out. The wind's still with us as well. I can hear it. Just had a little look at Bill. Just a Flake hasn't upset those two, but this round, Bill checks his watch quite clearly. So the judges will be picking up those couple of. So as he approaches the bridge, he'll be starting to think, how do I need to line this bridge? You can see that sheep at the front, just looking up the inside of the ground. Here they go. Bill and Flake came into this. Now it's just having a little pick.